a suspect. Hanging with the killers in the projects. Taylor on a barrel, keep quiet. Catch a nigga slipping from behind. OG Bobby Johnson. OG Bobby Johnson. OG Bobby Johnson. OG Bobby Johnson. Put nigga out like an outbreak. Chopper start to make the house shake.
What's poppin' T Squad? It's your girl Keisha, aka Color Me Pynk, and I'm here with this week's All Tea, All Shade Real Housewives of Miami Season 5, Episode 15 review. I drop videos Monday through Sunday. Everything that I say is for entertainment purposes only and not to be taken seriously or literally. So if that works for you, then let's get into tonight's review. So this week's episode picks up exactly where we left off last week, with Adriana making the idiotic mistake of comparing her sprained, if even that, foot to Alexia's son Frankie's accident. And of course, Alexia went off on her. I mean, she called her a horrible person, said that that's why her life is the way it is, and that's what she gets. And Adriana still was sitting there talking about some, you know, I could have fractured my foot. I could have broken my bones in my foot. I could have broken my bones in 100 and something places. And trying to compare the two, and there really was no comparison. And it's just like, girl, you should have admitted that you was wrong right then and there, instead of trying to argue the fact when there really was no fact to argue. You were 100% in the wrong, and Alexia honestly had every right to go off on you, because how dare you equate what happened to my son to something that honestly didn't even happen to you. There was nothing even wrong with your foot, girl. You were sitting up here acting out and trying to get attention and sympathy, and you're a 50-something-year-old woman acting like this. Like, grow up. And like I said on last week's episode, Adriana went from being all the way right, and in that one instance making herself all the way wrong. And I was fully behind her at first until that incident. It doesn't negate how she felt, but to compare the two was just idiotic. It really honestly was. And then to, like I said, continue to fight the argument was just like, girl, grow up. Please grow up. So Larsa and Marisol jumped in, trying to let her know that she was wrong. You know, they ran over to console Alexia, who was crying, and Guerdy and Nicole was just like, girl, just be quiet. Like, do not even argue the point. Like, you're 100% wrong. Even Julia was telling her that she was wrong, because she was. Oh, but before Marisol went to console Alexia, she and Julia had words, and Julia tried to dump an ice bucket on Marisol cold, frigid butt, but they end up just kind of like tossing with the ice cubes. It was just a mess, but Julia was sick and tired of them. Julia is tired of them playing with her. She is sick and tired of the foolishness, and I honestly don't blame her, because they do treat them like the wicked stepchildren. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're not good enough, and I don't like that. I don't like the way they treat the other girls. It's obvious like that there is a separation within this group, and it's like the OGs minus Adriana and the new girls. You know what I'm saying? And I don't like the divide. And even in tonight's episode, Alexia was comparing herself to being the cool girls and the only people that matters. And it's like, how old are we? I felt like I was watching the episode of Saved by the Bell and not Real Housewives of Miami. Like, literally was calling themselves the cool kids. And it's just like, girl, you ain't been a kid in like 40, 50 years. Sit down. Also got to see Lisa go and visit our girl Lea Black, who was one of the OGs from Miami. It was really good to see Leah. I really want Leah to come back next season. I would love to see her back, even if it's just a few cameos here and there, just to see her dynamic in the group, and to have somebody go up against Alexia, because Alexia didn't act like this when Leah was on the show, because Leah literally was like the grand dame of Miami. But anywho, so Lisa goes to visit Leah because she's one of the people that was there for her when Lenny cheated on her the first time. And she's one of the people that she's been leaning on for advice right now. And I love that Leah was like, girl, forget him. Why do you even want a man that would treat you like that? Would you want your daughter to be with a man that treat them like that? Absolutely not. Like, But Lisa is still in that stage where she still is willing to take him back. She said it was for the kids, but I don't believe that. It's because you still love them. And that's okay for her to admit that and say that. But when she was sitting there with Leah, you could tell she wasn't trying to hear what Leah was trying to tell her. She wasn't in that mind frame yet. It was still too fresh and too new. The hurt was still there. The love was still there. And she wasn't at that stage where she was ready to let go. But everything that Leah said to her was 100% valid and true. And it was tough love that she really needed to hear. So on their last night during the vacation, the girls are scheduled to have dinner together, but it's so much tension that Nicole decides to split the group up into two separate tables. But before they head to dinner, Adriana, finally admits that she was 100% wrong for what she said. She was like, she didn't mean any ill intent. It just came out wrong. And she felt bad because she would never, try to say anything negative about Frankie. And I believe her that she felt bad, but I just didn't like the fact that in the beginning she tried to double down on what she was saying. And then she gets to talking about how she's alone and she's lonely. And the fact that after the following year, she would not be receiving alimony anymore. And she would be 100%, in charge of her finances and providing for herself and her son at this point. And she's scared. And that's a honest way to feel, you know what I'm saying? But I'm like, girl, you knew the day was coming. Hopefully you would have been smart enough to been saving, you know what I'm saying? Putting money to the side. You're on this show. I'm pretty sure you're making 6 figures doing this show. Like, I don't understand what people be doing with their money. But I think the main issue with Adriana is that she is alone and that she's lonely. And she wants her friendship back with Marisol and Alexia, but honestly, truly, I wouldn't even want a friendship with them because they're horrible people at this point. And they don't really like you. And they don't mess with you like that for real, for real, for real. So I wouldn't even want their friendship back. But hopefully she finds some peace within herself where she's happy with being by herself, because if you're in a situation where you just in dire need to be with somebody to feel whole, that's a problem, because that means you will be willing to accept anything from anybody, child, just to fill the void of being lonely. The girls get to dinner that night, and it's Guerdy, Nicole, Adriana, and Julia at one table. Mind you, it's Julia's 50th birthday, and then Kiki's birthday is coming up as well. So then at the other table, you have Kiki, Larsa, Alexia, and Marisol. And, they speak to the girls when they come in, but when it was time, like to sing happy birthday and all that stuff, I noticed that Guerdy and Nicole was going over to their table to, to say happy birthday to Kiki, but they did not do the same for Julia. And I just thought that was just so petty and just so childish and ignorant. Like, why do somebody like that and exclude them and, disregard them on their birthday? Like, okay, I understand Alexia being upset with Adriana, but Julia didn't do nothing to nobody. Like, I just don't like them. Like, they're just horrible people. Horrible people. Horrible. And I just don't like the way that they treat them. And even Adriana and Julia was talking about how they feel like they are the nerd kids that's not sitting at the cool table with the cool girls, and they're being excluded. And that's a horrible way to feel. You know what I'm saying? If it was me, I wouldn't have gave 2 F's. You know what I'm saying? But you just don't treat people like that. You just honestly don't. I don't like that. I did love the fact that Larsa called Adriana out about her foot when she got up and started dancing in front of everybody in her wedges, child. Them wedges wouldn't go bother me. Jesus, they almost made me get back sick again. She was like, girl, ain't nothing wrong with your foot. And Adriana was like, just drop it. Just drop it. Yeah, girl, because wasn't nothing wrong with your foot in the first place for you to be sitting up there talking about some your foot could have been fractured into 20 million places and comparing it to somebody that actually had a horrific accident happen to them. You were 100% flat out wrong. So Adriana ends up having her video premiere party, and Lisa, Guerdy, Nicole, and Julia show up for her. I really love the fact that Lisa is being neutral. She's not picking sides. She's not, running over there with the mean girls, and she's not treating Adriana any type of way. Adriana looked so cute. So cute, honey. That hair was herring. Them curls was bouncing and just full and vivacious. I loved her little sparkly cat suit. Yes, Adriana, she did the dang on thing. I need for her hair to look like that all day, every day. Okay? Loved it. Loved it, loved it, loved it. The song was meh. It was a cute little something for karaoke, but nah, girl, stop spending your money on these whack ass videos, because music is just not your thing, honey. Just be on the reality show and be cute and start drama, but the singing, Fuego, Miami's on fire, girl, get out of here. No. Instead of going to Adriana's video premiere party, Marisol invited Alexia, Larsa, and Kiki over to her house. And I peeped that she made a comment about how she hadn't eaten anything all day, and that the only thing she was going to eat that day was caviar and drink alcohol. I don't know why she thinks that promoting this lifestyle is cute or funny or whatever. It's unhealthy. You're basically showing the world that you have an eating disorder, that you choose not to eat so you can be skinny, and that you instead consume alcohol. Like, that's not funny nor cute to me. Like, that she's promoting that whole lifestyle of not eating and drinking. Like, Marisol is an idiot. Like, I don't like that old lady for nothing. And I'm like, girl, you of all people need to eat, because you look like a bag of bones. You really honestly do. It's not cute, honey. It's really not. You up here looking like a knife and a fork. Girl, sit down. So when they sit down and have a conversation, it comes out that Marisol found out that how Adriana linked up with her ex was through the app Bumble. But through the app Bumble, you get to pick the guys. The guys don't get to pick you. So she then let the girls know that she reached out to her dude. You know what I'm saying? So, like, you was on some funny stuff from the beginning. And if that's the case, then that is some shady fugazi type stuff for Adriana to do that. Like, why would you pick a guy that Alexia used to go out with? Like, that's weird. You know what I'm saying? So if she did that, then that's another strike against Adriana. That's not cool at all. So at the end of the episode, Lisa links up with her mother-in-law, Marina. Now, mind you, Marina has been there for her during this whole divorce situation with Lenny, which I was very shocked about. But I felt like she was only there for her because Lenny was treating her bad as well. And that was proven in tonight's episode, because she sits down with Lisa and lets Lisa know that Lenny apologized for basically cussing her and his father out. And Lisa was like, well, that's nice, but your son is not a good person. Now, I don't know what Lisa was thinking. Yeah, this lady been having your back, but at the end of the day, she ain't never liked you. First of all, let's just get that on the table. And second of all, at the end of the day, that's still that lady's son. And that lady gonna always pick her son over you. That's just how it is, point blank, and the period. So you bad mouthing him to her. That ain't gonna last but so long. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what she was thinking, because the mother was like, she accepted his apology, and then got to basically blaming Lisa for the reason why they getting a divorce, and was like, he ain't like you going out all the time, and there were a lot of girls around, and Lisa looking like, excuse you, like, all of a sudden it's my fault. Like, get out of here. Do I believe that there is some truth to what the mama is saying? I do think that Lisa was probably kicking it and going out, or whatever the case may be, but at the same token, that still don't give him a right to cheat on her. You know what I'm saying? To do that to her. But The mama is going to go where the money resides and where the wind blows. And like I said, the mama never liked her no way. So I don't know what she was expecting from that lady. But at this point, you need to chuck her up the deuce like you need to chuck up Lenny the deuce, child. Because, honey, don't none of them people mean you no good. So that is my review of the Real Housewives of Miami. I give tonight's episode an A. It was really, really good. Y'all let me know what y'all thought about the episode down below in the comment section. Make sure to thumbs up this video, like and subscribe, and hit that notification bell button. I love you, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye.